video, but I'm going to add to that past video with this explanation in this book. Okay, the whole thing in Leviticus 19. It's not just 19, it's Exodus as well. The whole purpose, the whole premise is number 13 of Leviticus 19. You shall not defraud your neighbor, neither rob him. You shall not defraud your neighbor, nor rob him. You shall not curse the deaf, nor put stumbling blocks before the blind. Okay. Now let me explain this next part. I'm going to explain. You guys have explained time. Okay. Congratulations. I've got as much time. You see this? What you call, I'm not going to put this on. You see this? It's called a calculator. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I've got as much time. Let me keep it real with you. I've got as much time as possible that I testified in federal court where that person, Salmon Bell's relatives in that magical order, are not allowed to play games with any of those things with sold contracts. You can't just go into court, ladies and gentlemen, put your hand against the Holy Scriptures, and steal hundreds of millions of dollars. You cannot do that, ladies and gentlemen. And when it comes to those things with sold contracts, that's dangerous, ladies and gentlemen. Do not go near any of those people. Now, when I was doing the Big Brother and Big Sister programs, things related to that nature, these celebrities, they're sick in the head. You have to be careful with these celebrities, ladies and gentlemen. They're not who they say they are, ladies and gentlemen. You have to stay away from some of these people because some of these people, they just don't abduct you. They treat you like you're an inanimate object. When you make a deal like that, when you sign on the dotted line, they have to make you sign certain things. They make you do stuff. Now, you don't, ladies and gentlemen, you don't ever want to do that because it's dangerous. Don't ever go down that path because that's what a lot of these prophets have explained. These people, they're naive. The truth is through the Holy Scriptures, ladies and gentlemen. It's not in selling your soul. And I'm sorry to say this to Salmon Bell and some of those people. You need to have physical paperwork. You need written, you see this? At Staples. You need to have written documentation. You have no evidence. And any type of behavior like that, your Yahweh, your Elohim, your Lord God, they condone it. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't gamble. You're Jewish. You're a Christian. You're Muslim. You can't gamble. You can't commit mortal sin. You can't commit spiritual sin either. Gambling includes stealing, ladies and gentlemen. Gambling includes lying. That's all the stuff in Exodus 20. And not only that, ladies and gentlemen, you can't lie to yourself. You have to stay true to the faith right here. So when you guys are, you guys are on the streaming services, congrats and all. Because no matter what, with the Bitcoin, with the cryptocurrency, now I'm going to explain something to you, which I did explain something to you, which my grandpa's relatives and the Gaetians did have me explain. And that is that cryptocurrency, it's not backed up by anything. Let me repeat that. Your cryptocurrency, that the founder of Bitcoin, that person, Mr. Pena, even said this. If you knew who that person was behind the Bitcoin, you would be selling your stock. Because not only would you be selling your stock, some of those designs were designed by some people that had thefts happen. intellectual properties, copyright infringement, etc. All this stuff is me touching my hand against the... I testified about that in court with a calculator. I had to go, ladies and gentlemen, this has to do with these contracts and things like that. You have to have paperwork to support your documentation in court. When you don't have paperwork, when those people make up a story, because all those people do in those satanic work, they make up stories. They're not even honest. Let me just tell you something. They're not even honest with their own relatives. Not only are they not honest with their own relatives, they live in a faith. Let me just say this. You guys that are in those organizations, those synagogue or whatever, congrats. You live in a fantasy reality. You might as well live in the Matrix. So you gotta understand, ladies and gentlemen, you can't lie or steal or cheat. You gotta stay true to the faith. You can't make up lies. And that's the problem, ladies and gentlemen. You can't live a lie. That's something that Joshua and his relatives explain in these books. So take care, guys. Have a pleasant and wonderful day.